and spiritual angels. So that's what the base of my work is. This is my story about why I create them, but when you look at my angel wings, you have your own story, your own beliefs, your own backgrounds, and that's amazing. So just keep in mind that this is my story and why I create them. So for this event, I made this. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear." And then I left a blank space so you have time for thought. But of power and of love and of a sound mind. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get through this one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And then I left another big space for another area of thought right there. So I just wanted you to keep that in mind during my talk. And then I'll get over to my self-portrait later on. So during this talk, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself, my background. I'd like to tell you about the event that brought me to create Angel Wings, and then I'd also like to share with you how you can feel and see angels around you as well. So I grew up in Maple Ridge in BC, but I actually have a really interesting story how I got to Canada, thanks to my parents. So my parents are from Slovakia, and it was communist, so they decided to leave. So they went into Austria, and that's where I was born. I was born when we were in the refugee camp waiting to be placed. And then once we got placed, we came to Canada and we set up our home in BC here. But I found out an even further interesting story to this because this year I actually went to China and I had to apply for a Chinese visa. Now, if you've ever done that in your life, they need a lot of information. So I put where my parents were from, where I was born, and my Canadian citizenship. Now, when I was at the office, the lady said to me, "Okay, so you have a Slovak birth certificate or a Slovak citizenship or passport." I said, "No, my parents are from there, but I'm not. I was born in Austria." "Okay, so you have an Austrian passport or certificate." "No, I don't. I'm just Canadian. But I was born in 1987. I didn't become a Canadian citizen until 1993. So what happened between then?" So I called my mom up and I said, "Mom, like how did you get me to Canada without a passport?" And what she said next truly explains who I am. She said, "You have an alien passport." I said, "What? An alien passport?" So my husband and I had a really good laugh about this because I was a citizen of the world for a couple of years. And that's like, I'm gonna try not to cry, but that explains who I am so much because I just wish so badly that like we could all just get along and just be citizens of the world. So that's a bit of like us coming to Canada. And then the second part, so growing up in BC, we lived on acreage, and I was that kind of kid that made mud pies and like was outside all the time building with my hands and like creating things and just, you know, just being outside and enjoying nature. And then as I grew, I got into poetry and I really liked short stories and I loved music. I started to sing. I played piano and I played violin at one point. Don't ask me to play it now, but I did take lessons at one point. So I was living with this creative brain. A right brain is your creative brain. So I'm living as a creative brain. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the creative brain. I read a book while I was and I did feel really nervous that day, but that wasn't unusual for me. Like I was feeling very, very nervous. And, you know, everything was safe. The kids had their life jackets and all that and everything, but it happened. The moment I wasn't looking, my youngest daughter went into the pool and we were so fortunate that she was okay. Now, I just have to say that I always prayed over my children, God, please have your living and spiritual angels watching over my kids. That always, always, and that day is exactly what happened. There was a girl that I didn't know in the pool watching her when I wasn't. And she called for her dad, and her dad got her from the pool, and we were even further blessed. There was a first response paramedic, a firefighter in training, and a nurse at the party that started resuscitating her. My prayers were beyond answered. And when I got to her, she was breathing, and I remember calling on the Holy Spirit. As a Catholic, growing up Catholic, I was always taught, you call on the Holy Spirit when you need help. So I called on the Holy Spirit, which is the hand of God, and when I called, the water just came right out of her. It was absolutely amazing. And then when we got to the hospital, she was fine. She was perfectly fine. This is her. She's gone. So she was fine. Me and my husband were beyond stressed out and just couldn't believe what happened to us. And I remember shopping for gifts for the people that were there, the living angels that were watching over her and helped us. I remember shopping for gifts for them, and I was actually trying to find angel things for them. And there was this lady at the store. I'm very kind, love her to this day, love her, but she made me have my epiphany. She said to me, oh my gosh, doesn't that make you watch your kids even more? Because I had told her the story. I was very emotional shopping for these gifts. And I had that moment, I said, no, it actually doesn't make me watch my kids even more, because there's no possible way I could watch them more. Like, no way. Like, I would have to, have drones over them and, just go out. Sorry. Oh, yes. And I do believe that, God gave us angels as, messengers. I know Christmas is coming up, so I had to talk about Christmas with angel wings. The angel Gabriel came to Mary and was a messenger and told her that she was going to give the world Jesus. So I feel like I'm a student of the Bible, and in the Bible it says that angels are messengers. So that's what I also believe, that they're messengers for us. If you want to see more spiritual angels, because I'm talking more about living angels, but if you are more into seeing spiritual angels, there's a really amazing book called Seeing Angels by Joshua Mills. So if you're interested in that, I would highly recommend getting that. But for me, I really see living angels. And one incident with that is, I'll give you an example. It was really, really recent. So I have horrible lighting in my studio. I actually was working with a headlamp, because a lot of these details, I need to see. And I was talking to my brother about it, and I'm just like, oh, this lighting is just so awful in my studio. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? He said, go to Home Depot. I'm like, but I don't know anything about light bulbs. We'll just go to Home Depot. Okay, I'm going to go. So even though I was frustrated, and just because you're full of love and accepting and loving doesn't mean you don't get frustrated. Doesn't mean you don't get your angry days. It's okay. So I was standing there okay, I don't know what to do. Maybe I can get a worker person to help me. Literally out of the blue, somebody was pushing someone in a wheelchair and just stopped and said oh, blah, and just started talking to me about all the light bulbs and told me everything I needed to know, helped me, picked it out, and then went on his way. That was an angel in my life. That was a living person who got his own stuff, went through a checkout, but he was meant to be there at that time for me. And I think sometimes when we are in a bad place, and life is crazy, unimaginable things happen that I can't even think about, because I just wouldn't be able to speak. But we can close and make art out of it. This is amazing. I can even photo transfer. It's beyond limitless. So that's what I consider myself. I'm a mixed media sculpture artist. So yeah, so I was so happy while I was doing my studies. But during my studies, I actually got married and I had kids. So a lot of what you see in my art is because I am Catholic. I got married in a Catholic church. I grew up Catholic. And I was always that kid that loved going to church. I love wow, look at the deep red, look at the deep purple, wow, look at the tree bark. When you're in a right brain, you're constantly wow. So I'm so happy that I can put the wow things that I see and put them onto my artwork. So yeah, so I was a creative brain growing up. So what to do when I got into university? What am I going to do with my creative brain? I'm never I didn't want to do the whole starving artist thing. So I decided, oh my gosh, I'm going to go into advertising. Like I can do like creative stuff there and I can make an income out of it. But I couldn't find like an advertising degree or diploma program, so I went into business. So I was so lucky and